Hey, I'm Jeff with HTP, and today we're going to cover our quick spot, part number 60501, handheld spot welder. This is a great little unit. It is microprocessor controlled, and it operates on a 220 volt 30 amp circuit. So your maximum output of this unit is 6,300 amps, and it's 14 kVA as a maximum kVA draw. So let's get into the operation of the unit. Okay, so this is the control panel of the QuickSpot 2. You have two welding modes here. This is the pulse mode. If I hit the button, it changes into the continuous mode. The pulse mode is more designed to burn through an E-coat or an undercoating, when you're doing automotive work and the panels have an E-coat coating on them. This is your thickness in millimeters, and you can see 1.2 and 1.2. 1.2 millimeters, if I'm not mistaken, is about 48 thousandths, or I believe that's 18 gauge. 1.5 millimeters is 60 thousandths, or 16 gauge, and 2 millimeters is your maximum setting. I'm not sure what that is in a gauge. And the higher you have this set, the fewer spot welds you can make per hour. And then we go all the way down to 6/10 of a millimeter, 8/10, and I know 1 plus 1, that's 40 thousandths. So what we're going to be welding today will be some 1.5. Now this is your time. If we see the nugget on the weld or the heat affected zone and we want more heat or less heat, we can fine tune the unit by going more weld time or less weld time from the default setting. So really the operation is pretty simple, but it is critical that you know the thickness of the panels that you're welding. So using a micrometer, I'm going to measure the thickness so you can see that these panels are about 1.5 millimeters. If I change it from millimeters to inches, we're right around 60 thousandths, 58 thousandths. So that's what we're going to be welding today. And again, it really is important to know the thickness, because if you set it too thin, it's not going to weld properly and you won't get adequate strength. If you set it too thick, you're going to reduce your duty cycle. Okay, so this would be how we would adjust the tension. You can see the arms are together. I want a little bit more clamping pressure than what I've got here, so I'm going to tighten up this spring. First weld I'm going to make is going to be in the pulse mode, and the second weld I am going to make will be in the continuous mode. And you'll be able to hear the machine actually pulse. So here we go. Now I'm going to just hit this button and put it into the continuous mode, and you'll see it will give it one shot and stop. And hopefully you can see the difference. The way the spot welder works is the electricity goes into one arm, through the arm, into the top of the panel, through the top of the panel into the bottom of the panel, out the bottom of the panel, into the top of the lower panel, out the bottom of the lower panel, into the lower arm. So basically what I'm trying to say is you have to conduct electricity through the panels. So if we took a business card like so, and I try and weld, you'll see it's not welding because it's not going to conduct the current. So in the instance we had a E-coated panel, and we didn't want to remove the E-coating, we want to burn through it. A way we would trick the system is, I'm going to put it in the pulse weld mode. Now normally, since this is 1.5 and 1.5, and I'm going to try and weld through a business card, I am going to increase my thickness to 2 plus 2. So what I'm going to do is I'm only going to insert my business card over half of the panel to be an insulator, and then I'm going to leave this area from here back that I would be able to put a weld into. So I will make a weld here. And now I will turn it around and make a weld in the area where the business card is. So what happened is the panels were connected electrically, and therefore it started to weld and burn through business card. Now you can also see how much bigger the heat affected zone is. So now you can see how much larger the heat affected zone is with the setting up at the 2 plus 2 and in the pulse mode, but the pulse mode was necessary to burn through the business card. So now I've got some coupons that are 30 thousandths or 8/10 of a millimeter thick, and I'm going to adjust the unit back down to 0.8 and 0.8, and I will put it in the first weld will be the pulse so you can see the difference. And the second will be the continuous, and again this is set for the correct thickness of the material. So hopefully I left enough room to be able to grab this. And perform our roll test. And you can see we tore holes in both of these panels. So obviously a business card is a little extreme compared to an E-coat. Now this 30 thousandths is a little bit easier to bend. So we pull a hole, and do the same on the other side. And again, you can see what kind of strength these welds have. So from what you've seen today, the QuickSpot 2 is an extremely versatile tool if you're doing any kind of sheet metal work, and it will put a minimum of heat in and give you exceptionally strong welds. It will also weld stainless, and in a video we've also posted, you can see it spot weld aluminum. If you've got any questions or comments, please leave them below and we'll try and answer your questions. And please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thanks for watching.